I'm Davina Campbell. I'm a website designer, and I'm going to go through this website, embracethechange.org.uk today because I've been asked to by Fiona, the owner. And I'm going to talk about the things that she's doing really well because there are a lot of things that are genuinely good on here. And then I'll talk about the specific changes that could make the biggest difference to getting more clients through the door. So let's get into it. Starting with the homepage, what's working well? The first thing I want to highlight is the headline. Rediscover your strength, embrace the change. It's a strong opening, it's not doom and gloom, and it positions menopause as something to move through, not suffer from. So, for women who are already anxious about what's happening to their bodies, the tone matters. So, it's a good start. Next, we have an introduction video, and I'll just let that play a bit. We have an introduction video. It's you introduce yourself. This is really smart. In a coaching business, people are buying you. They need to know that they like you before they'll trust you with something this personal. The video does that work. It's warm and genuine, and it's a real asset. Then below that, three we have three clear service categories. So one-to-one coaching, group coaching, workplace coaching. Clean, easy to understand. A visitor can see instantly whether there's something for them. So that's good UX, and it matters. We've got testimonials. The three testimonials here, they're short, they're personal, and they speak to real outcomes. Emma says she finally feels like herself again. That's powerful language, the kind of thing a potential client is secretly hoping for. Now, what can we improve? Here's the honest bit. Whilst the headline is good, it could be better. So, rediscover your strength, embrace the change. It's nice, but nice doesn't necessarily convert. It's what we'd call a weak promise. So, the women landing on this page are exhausted, they're confused, maybe a bit frightened. They're not thinking about rediscovering strength, they're thinking, why can't I sleep? Why am I crying in Tesco? Is this it now? A stronger headline speaks directly to that. So something like, you're not losing your mind, you're in menopause, let's fix that. Or if you need something a little bit warmer, you could say something more on the lines of, you don't have to just get on with it, there's support here and it actually works. The point is, speak to where she's at, not where you hope she'll end up. So, my tip here would be to rewrite the hero headline, to name the pain or the specific outcome, and then run it past two or three real clients. Ask them, does it sound like how they felt? There's a book a discovery call button here, which is great, but it's the only clear prompt, and it's asking a lot of women who just arrived on the page who don't know you yet. So consider adding maybe a secondary call to action, something lower the stakes. So maybe a free guide to managing their symptoms or a short quiz, something that says, not ready to talk yet, that's fine, start here. I know somewhere else on the website you do mention that that you have sort of free resources, maybe a link to one of those. You want to catch the women who are curious but not yet committed. So right now, if she doesn't book the call, she's gone. Add the free lead magnet alongside the discovery call button, and even if it's a simple PDF, it just gives her reason to give you her email and stay in your world. My other feedback on this page would be that the testimonials are here, but they don't really tell us anything. So life changing, amazing. What changed? How? In what time frame? So Sarah says the approach was compassionate. That's useful. But Emma saying, finally feel like myself again is powerful, but it needs a before. What was she going through? That contrast is what makes the testimonial land. So maybe next time you get feedback like that, follow up with what was going on for you before we started, what's different now. Those answers become like proper social proof. Maybe try going back to Emma and Sam and ask them to expand. Like even 2 or 3 extra sentences changes everything. The last thing on the homepage for me is that there's nothing here that gives a visitor a sense of what working with you costs. Now, I know the instinct is to keep pricing off the site, but for a coaching service at this level, not having any indication means you'll get a lot of tire kickers on your discovery calls. You don't have to put exact figures on the homepage, but something like investment from X or programs from X per month does one very important thing. It self selects the right clients in and politely filters the wrong ones out. Let's move on to the About page. Okay, what's working here? Right, the About page. And I want to start here because this is actually the strongest writing on the entire site. So here you share the moment that you stepped out of the car in Death Valley and felt like you were on fire. You forgot appointments, worried that you had dementia, had a 5 minute GP call and told you it was menopause. That's a story, that's specific, that's human. Any woman going through perimenopause right now is going to read that and think, oh my God, that's me. This is your single most powerful piece of copy on the website. And it's doing the thing that all the other pages are struggling to do. There's a photo. This matters enormously in personal coaching businesses, and you look approachable and warm, so keep it. It's a good photo. What else have we got that's good? Let's look down here. Okay, support this mission part. Support and guidance, education, practical tools, community. These are clear benefits. They're good. They answer the question, what am I actually signing up for? So now what can we improve on this About page? So let's take it right up to the top. If you look here, I've got to mention this because it's an SEO issue. The URL for this page is literally new page 2. That tells Google nothing. It should be something like embracethechange.org.uk/about or /about Fiona. It's a quick fix, but it really matters for visibility. So update the About page URL and let's move forward. The next problem is that the most powerful thing on this page, the Death Valley moment, comes after this formal introduction and list of qualifications. And by the time you get to it, you've already put some readers to sleep. This story should open the page. Lead with it. Start with, I was standing in Death Valley when my feet hit the ground and I felt like I was on fire. And then build from there. The qualifications can come after. The visitor will trust you more because of the story, and then the credentials just confirm that trust. So I would say restructure the About page. Start with the story first, credentials second. That way you're entering the conversation already happening in her mind. There's a section here at the bottom about webinars and a private forum and downloadable resources, but these features aren't clearly tied to a specific offer. Like, is this a membership, a bonus inside the coaching program, a free community? It's confusing, and a visitor doesn't know what she's being invited into or how to get there. Either make it really clear offer with a link or remove it from the About page entirely, because an About page should build trust, not try to sell 3 things at once. There's no call to action here. The page just kind of ends. So someone who's finished reading the whole story, they're connecting, they're feeling it, and then there's nowhere to go. You've lost them. End this page with something simple like, if any of this sounds familiar, you're in the right place. Here's how we can work together. Then a link to services or discovery call booking. Let's move on to the services page. Okay, what's working on this page? 3 services are clearly differentiated. So, one-to-one coaching, group coaching, workplace coaching. They speak to three different buyers: a woman who wants privacy, a woman who wants community, and an employer who wants to support their team. That's smart. Also, there is a book discovery call on the services page right down here. It's the right next step after reading about the services. Now, what can we improve? Let's be honest, personalised support tailored to your unique menopause journey is generic. It could be on any menopause coaching website in the country, probably is. It tells me nothing about what it's like to work with you. Like what happens in your sessions? What do they look like? What happens in session one? What's the format? What does she leave with? How does your approach differ from any other menopause coach? Women making an investment in personal coaching are looking for specifics. Give them specifics. So for each service, just add what's included, what the experience feels like, what the outcome is, and an approximate investment. Even 3 or 4 extra sentences per service would make a huge difference. This is a services page. It's where, if there's anywhere on the site where pricing should appear, it's here. Its absence means that anyone interested has to take the extra step of booking a call just to find out if they can afford it. You'll get fewer inquiries overall, and the ones you do get will include people who can't afford the services, which wastes both their time and yours. Even a starting from figure or a book a discovery call to discuss investment with a rough ballpark in the meta description helps qualify the right people in. The workplace coaching section is underwritten. There's a real business opportunity here. Menopause in the workplace is a growing conversation. The UK now has specific guidance around it. HR managers and business owners are actively looking into this, but this service gets fewer words than the others and no specific outcome or deliverables. If you want corporate contracts, this section needs to speak directly to the buyer. So, HR managers, CEOs, not just the woman going through menopause. I would say write a separate landing page altogether for the workplace coach offering. Corporate buyers are a completely different audience with different motivations and different approval processes, so give it some space. Someone reading about the one-to-one coaching is ready to act, and they shouldn't have to scroll down to the bottom of the page to find the button. Add a book a discovery call button under each service description or a link to the page that it should go to. A couple of things before I summarize. Contact page, that's fine. You've got the book a discovery call here anyway, and then a simple contact form. The blog, I would say hide it because it's empty. So when you're actually ready to have content, then re-show it. But for now, hide that from your menu. FAQs. This is good information and it's good also good SEO. Maybe have a link to it from the about page or even put it on the about page. So overall, the bones of the site are genuinely good. You know, the brand name is strong, the logo is really pretty and clear. The story on the about page is really compelling and it makes you stand out in this space. But the site is underselling. The homepage headline doesn't speak directly enough to the pain, and the service page doesn't give enough detail or pricing for it to convert, for it to have any decent SEO, and for information for a paying client to know how much the investment is. The about page buries its best asset, the story, so definitely rearrange that and really highlight the story. You can always put formal instructions and qualifications later. So that's great news. A lot of this is not really about a full redesign. It's copyright fixes and structural tweaks and maybe a new page. The kind of thing that can be sorted in a focus build. So that's the end of my review, sort of audit of this site. Um, if you'd like any further advice or any deeper advice, feel free to get in touch.